Okay, let's go.
Welcome to The Explainer. You know, we've all seen those flashy videos on how to make a ton of money in the market. But what about how not to lose your first thousand? Well, today we're digging into the single biggest reason most beginner traders fail. And more importantly, we're going to lay out a powerful system to stop it from happening to you. So let's just start with this question right here. What's really more important? Figuring out how to make 10 lakh rupees, or just learning how to protect your first $25,000? This simple question completely shifts your focus, right? It moves you away from dreaming about huge profits and brings you back to the most important job you have, protecting your capital. Because let's be real, if you can't hang on to that first 25K, you are never, ever going to see that 10 lakh. And the main reason traders fail is surprisingly clear. It's not usually a bad strategy or a bad stock pick that wipes people out in those first 3 to 6 months. Nope, it's this one monster, overtrading. If you can get this one thing under control, it's like you've learned a massive chunk of the trading game almost overnight. Okay, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to identify the real enemy. Then we'll break down what overtrading actually is and why on earth we do it. After that, we'll get into a foolproof two-account solution, and finally, the ultimate weapon you can use to enforce that discipline. All right, section 1. So who is the beginner's real enemy? Let's get right into it. And here's a little spoiler for you. It's not the market. 3 to 6 months? That's it. This is the typical window, the danger zone, where a new trader loses their entire starting capital. It doesn't matter if it's 25,000 rupees or 5 lakhs rupees. This is the period where most dreams die. And this right here, this is the dangerous psychological trap. After you take a few losses, your goal isn't about making a profit anymore. Suddenly, your entire focus, all your mental energy, is just about one thing: clawing your way back to zero. And that, my friends, is a desperate and really dangerous cycle to be in. Okay, so what does this enemy actually look like day to day? It's way more subtle than just, making a bunch of bad trades. It can actually sneak up on you even on your best, most profitable days. See, overtrading isn't just about how much money you lose. It's the act of trading without a finish line. Think of it like this. You're on a road trip, but you have no destination. You're just driving, burning fuel, burning time, with no idea when or where to stop. You are completely flying blind. And what's super interesting are the 3 different faces of overtrading. First, you've got the profitable trader. They hit their goal for the day, they feel like a genius, and then they keep going and give it all back. Second is the one we all know a little too well, the trader who's down and just keeps digging a deeper hole trying to get it back. And third, there's the break-even trader, who's just bored, antsy, and starts forcing trades that just aren't there. So why do we keep falling into these obvious traps? Well, let's look at the root causes, which really break down into 2 main categories: the practical reasons and the much deeper psychological ones. And this just lays it out perfectly. It's 2 sides of the same coin. On the left, you've got the basic mechanical failures. You just don't have a daily plan or a real strategy. But look to the right. That's where the powerful emotions rush in to fill that void: revenge trading after a loss, pure greed after a big win, and just that addictive thrill of being in the action. You see, here's the crucial point. A good strategy isn't just about telling you when to get in a trade. It's also about telling you when to stay out. It acts like a filter. It forces you to be patient and wait for your specific setup. Without that filter, every little flicker on the chart, every green candle looks like a golden opportunity that you just have to jump on. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem, we know why it happens. Now let's get to the good stuff. Here is an elegant and, I mean, incredibly practical solution that doesn't just rely on you having superhuman willpower. And this right here, this quote, is the entire philosophy behind the system. You can't just wake up and tell yourself, today I'll be more disciplined. It doesn't work. You have to build a system, a structure, where you physically cannot make those impulsive emotional mistakes. You have to take control out of your own hands. And the solution itself is surprisingly simple. You're going to open 2 totally separate DMAT accounts, those electronic accounts for your securities. And the whole idea is to separate your trading life into 2 very distinct buckets, both psychologically and financially. And this chart illustrates that separation perfectly. Think of account 1 as your professional office. This is where your main capital lives, and you only execute your proven, strict, strategy-based trades here. That's it. Account 2, that's your lab. It's your sandbox. It's got a tiny bit of capital, and it's where you get to experiment, try new things, and satisfy that emotional itch to just do something. Now, doing this also solves another huge psychological problem. The source calls it making khichdi, that messy mix of everything. When your long-term investments are in the same account as your day trades, you might log in to make a quick trade and the first thing you see is an 80,000 rupee loss on your portfolio. That negative mindset just instantly poisons your decision-making for the rest of the day. All right, now for the final piece of this puzzle. We have the system in place, but we need a tool that locks in our discipline and makes this whole thing absolutely foolproof. And here it is, the ultimate weapon. There's a specific feature available on the Zerodha platform that acts like a hard stop, a circuit breaker for your own emotional brain. It's called the kill switch. So here's exactly how it works. In your professional account, the second you hit your daily profit target or your maximum loss for the day, your work is done. You immediately log into your settings and you hit the kill switch. This makes it physically impossible for you to place another trade in that account for the next 12 hours. It literally protects you from your future emotional self. And this is where the genius of the two-account system comes full circle. Because an hour later, when that urge to trade inevitably comes creeping back, you can't touch your main capital. It's locked down. But you do have an approved place to go, your little experimental account. The itch gets scratched, and your serious money stays completely safe. So let's just quickly recap this whole framework. We started with the problem, overtrading. We figured out why it happens. It's all about psychology and not having a plan. We built the solution, the two-account system, and we found the weapon to enforce it all, the kill switch. So what's the big takeaway here? Real, lasting control in trading doesn't come from learning more chart patterns. It comes from building better systems to manage your own behavior. Because the real enemy, it was never the market. It's the person staring back at you from the screen. The only question left is, are you ready to build the system to finally defeat them?